Cześć, my name is Michalina and this is episode number 22 of Coffee That Gives a Fuck. If you like me, like the coffee, come with me and I will show you that you can like it even more. Subscribe the channel, comment this video or like this episode. Or like all of them. 22. Your small action like this means a word to me, but also help me reaching to more people and to explain that specialty coffee is something that everyone needs in their lives.
Oh yeah!
Today's episode will be a small addition to the series about the information on the back of specialty coffees. What the information mean, to be specific, as for someone who is new to the industry, who are just starting their journey with specialty coffee, the information might be a little bit confusing or not as clear. You can find the whole series about the information on the back of specialty coffees here. Hopefully this series helps to understand better the process of roasting the coffee, of processing methods, of freshness in coffee, and etc, etc. But today, right here, right now, we'll be talking about the differences between single origins and blends, what they actually are. Perhaps knowing it will help you finding the bag of coffee that suits your preferences faster. Let's go! Definition of single origins and blends is pretty straightforward. If on the bag of coffee you see words single origin, it simply means that all the coffee beans that are inside the bag came from one place in the world. Most often it will be the same country, but it is very likely that it will be even smaller piece of land, like a region or even a farm or a collaboration of farms. You can pretty easily find on the bag part of the label that says Guatemala, Colombia, Panama, Brazil. Very, very straightforward. But you might come across words like Microlots or nanolots. These are also single origins, but narrowed down even to the smaller pieces of land, like just one side of the hill that farmer decided to grow very special kind of coffee tree, or to grow a little bit of coffee to later process it in very experimental way. Microlots or nanolots are typically more expensive than the rest of the coffee that comes from the same plantation and find their home on the stages of different type of coffee competitions, baristas competition, or they end up being on special offer in the specialty coffee roastery or in the coffee shop, as they very much stand out among other coffees from the same country, even same region. They're just very different from all the other farmers could offer at this time of the year. Blends, on the other side, are a combination of single origins. Typically, it's a mix of 3 up to 5 single origins. Usually, roasteries create blends that are made of beans coming from the same country, but more and more often, roasteries create combination of coffees that consist of single origins from the same plantation, but they were processed in different ways, or combinations of coffee from same country, but different regions. So let's say we have a blend that is made of Ethiopia and Brazilian coffee, but some part of the Brazilian coffee was processed in a washed method, but some other parts of the Brazilian coffee was dried naturally. So technically we have 3 different single origins, even though there are just 2 countries. Capish? Now that you know a little bit about the technicalities, let's move on to the question that I always have in my mind when I create videos for you. Why do I think you should know that? Why would you find knowing it useful? Well, first, there is quite a big difference in the taste between single origins and blends. But also knowing whether you are dealing with single origin or blend could be an indicator of your choice of brewing equipment for the coffee, how you should prepare the coffee that you have in front of you. So, From my experience, blends are usually created to be used in the espresso style brewing methods. Most often they are created of beans that are roasted darker, that I would usually recommend for using in V60 or any filter brewing methods. So usually it will be a combination of medium to dark roast coffee beans. That is done to meet the needs of both black and white coffee drinkers. For that reason, espresso machine and mocha pot are most recommended methods or brewing equipment for me to use your blends with. Roasteries quite often create blends in the way that it's very easy to repeat the same results in a cup for everyone who makes it. They quite often sell their blends to wholesale customers, like cafes, and they regular customers go there for those specific blends. So it's very easy to repeat, everyone loves it, it's very nicely balanced and complex, very predictable, but also unique, as only people in the roastery know how much of each of the single origin there is in their specific blend. So that way they can promote it as something unique among other coffees. The taste of it is beautiful and only they know it, how they made it. Each of the single origins has its own characteristics depending on where it was growing and how it was processed, how it was roasted later. They can taste delicious on their own. So to create a perfect combination of 3 or 4 single origins to only enhance each of the single origins' beautiful taste is something that roasteries want to achieve. And now single origins, they reflect the region or the place, the land of where they were growing a lot. Some coffees are more acidic than others, some are sweeter, some taste more like chocolate, some are more fruity. Today, coffee industry, especially specialty coffee industry, focuses a lot on the importance of single origin as the way to connect you with the creators of the coffee. If you buy single origin, you know where that coffee comes from. You know who was behind the production of the coffee. You know what you can expect from the taste of that coffee. When roasted in the way that only enhances its natural flavors, and it's traceable back to the plantation, single origins can provide you with very unique experience when you drink your coffee. Each one of them tastes a little bit different. As any other fruit, their taste might vary depending on the season. And that is great, there's nothing wrong with that. Only if you are a person who likes discovering new flavors each time you drink the coffee. If you are open for something that you've never tasted before, or if you don't mind that the coffee will be roasted a little bit lighter, so that way it will be more delicate and perhaps more acidic. Not bad acidic, really good acidic, but some people like the caramel-like, the chocolate-like, nutty-like flavors more than green apple one or lemony. Single origins usually give better results when brewed in filter brewing methods like a V60 or filter machines. They are a little bit trickier to taste amazing and consistently same if you use espresso machine. It is doable, it can give you beautiful results, but you might need to work on it a little bit more and you probably need a little bit of experience with that. So if you make it as a pour over, for that reason, I recommend to drink it as a black coffee. Their delicate nature and taste is worth exploring just as they are. And if you add milk to it or some plant-based beverage, you might miss out on what that coffee can actually present and where that coffee can take you. But like I said, blends are made to be delicious as both black and milky beverage. So if you are a fan of a good flat white or good old cappuccino, blend might be for you. But of course, I recommend only the blend with the good quality beans in them. Only the blends that you know what coffees they are made of. Only the blends that you know exactly where the coffees were roasted. Only the blends that when you open the bag of beans, it doesn't smell like someone first cut old tire into pieces and mix it together with very poor quality coffee beans. So yes, again, only the blends made by specialty coffee roasteries. I like to think that this is the place when you should find a good quality beans, where they use 100% Arabica coffee and they are very honest about it. Arabica is most often used in the specialty coffee industry bean, and it's known for its high quality. Robusta is then the second in line, and even though there are farmers that pay just as much attention to how grow Robusta as they do when they grow Arabica, Robusta is still concerned as the lower quality beans, and also that way cheaper. For coffee concerns to whom the quality doesn't matter as much as the quantity of the coffee that they sell, blends that are a combination of Arabica and Robusta is something that they still make so much profit on, and something that you as a customer should make you think that you want to drink something better. So I tell you what, I don't have any specialty coffee blend at home at the moment, but I do have some single origins that were roasted more dark rather than light, so they should be good in mocha pot. And so I can combine them for you. I'll make my own blend out of the single origins I have without any prior experience of doing so whatsoever. But I'm still 100% sure that it's gonna be still tastier than the blend that I'm gonna buy in the supermarket. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm not gonna taste the dough. I'm gonna make the coffee and I'm gonna ask my lovely personal assistant to do it for me so it will be more reliable, and I just don't want to drink the coffee from supermarkets, to be honest. So I will ask him to taste both black and white coffees and to tell me which one he likes better. He's not gonna know what coffee he's actually drinking, whether they were blends or single origins. He's just gonna be given the coffee and he tell me which one tastes better. Let's drink some coffee. Right, so apart from the fact that I think I should become a blender, I don't think I have to add any comment to it. You can do below this video. Peace and coffee.